Folks, would you please join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, hello everyone, this beautiful evening. Hope you all saw the sky when you came in. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous in Western New York. Anyway, this is you're inside, no sky. This is the August 26th meeting of the Town of Canandaigua Planning Board. Thanks for coming out. And hopefully you all signed in when you came in, so we have a record of your attendance. And we are going to get some new people here. Let me go through the group. On keyboard over here is Kim Burkhardt, is our remote facilities coordinator. Board members Tim Schneider, Mark Tolbert, Amanda Van Laken, Bob LaCourse. I'm Chuck Euler, chairperson. Tristan Smith, our zoning officer. Eric Cooper, representing MRB, and Chris Nadler, our board attorney. We're going to follow the agenda as published, and I don't think there's any reason to go through our protocol too much. Most of you folks have been before the board before. All you know that you come to the podium when your particular part of the agenda comes up, and give us your name and address the board. We'll go through the review of the application, ask any questions if we are so inclined, and then open it up to the public. If anybody from the public would like to address the board on the issue, we'll listen to them, and hopefully then we can reconvene as a board and come to a decision. Okay, anybody here under privilege of the floor want to address the board regarding not an application, but something that is not on the agenda? Anything that has not been published, but would like to address the board? Now's the time to speak. If not, we'll move on with the agenda and announce that tonight we have one public hearing that required a public advertising. That was advertised in the August 19th copy of the Daily Messenger. So it has been legally noticed. So for the record, that is the case. All right, let's go right to the agenda. CPN 2024-117. Nixon Peabody representing Verizon Communications. This is a continuation of a hearing seeking a site plan special use permit for a cell tower over in County Route 8. Specifically addressed as 2061 County Route 8. So I'll reopen the hearing. And Mr. Lusk, how are you this evening?
Good evening, members of the board. It's nice to be back. I had hoped that we would have at least made more progress. As you recall, in our last formal meeting, we were debating the merits of locations 2 and 3 on our landlord's parcel. And the board at that time indicated that they preferred location 3. And so we had commenced discussions in the initial plans. I have some preliminary plans for that site. We're not quite done because during the process of that, we received some indication from the adjacent neighbor, and I wrote you the letter about that there was the potential to move the property onto the adjacent property owned by Catalpa Acres. But a little bit disjointed because Catalpa also has bought the Sensitive property. So now Catalpa owns everything. They took it, of course, subject to our lease, where we have a lease in place and a recorded memorandum of lease for location 3. The hope was as we were moving forward, when the owner of Catalpa Acres came to us, he'd suggested maybe going into those trees. And the hope was maybe we could find a location and get a lease negotiated. At this point, the hope, I think, from all of us was that we were going to be able to put that tower in and amongst the trees to hide the base of it, for lack of a better word, hide the base of the tree. We've had some preliminary conversations with the owner. There's a couple of business points that that are stopping that, and I can explain the biggest hurdle that we have. But as discussed with him, when we said we think that the tower ought to go in and amongst the trees, his idea was that the tower should stay right out on the edge of the trees, and so we're not getting what we thought we would be getting in terms of hiding the base of the tree and the tower. That's the least of the issues. There are some business points that again, we haven't really made any progress because the requirement that he had at least to negotiate was that he wanted us to abandon the lease that we have on location 3 that we've invested in, leased, paid for, done everything before he would even consider talking to us on lot 4. You can understand from a business perspective, we have no idea whether this board would even approve the 4th location. So we're not in a position to do that. We had those discussions. Frankly, that's where the discussion ended about May. We've been, and again, they've had trouble closing. So there's been a lot of the real estate going on. But we spoke to him in May, and we've reached out several times in an effort to have this discussion. And we said to him, if we don't hear from you on a discussion by August 15th, we're going to proceed with location 3. We've tried, we've done our best interest. We've done, God's work here, trying to get it gone out, looked, tried to find a location, and we're just not getting anywhere with it. And so at this point, one of two things are going to happen. Maybe this town or the board can get a hold of that situation. I hope you understand that we're not in a situation to abandon our lease that puts us too much at risk to proceed to location 4. And again, we'd have to try to find a location that the board would like on location 4 in and amongst the weeds. We can't even get any meaningful communication. In fact, no communications since May. Is that, Jeff, you've been doing the communications?
June, yeah.
I'm sorry. I know we've tried to reach out to his attorney for the purchase of Scott Felvey. Tried to reach out to Scott Felvey in an effort to try to do something. Again, we're banging our heads against the desk here, trying to get a site built. And this has been handling. I knew that we don't yet have the plans for lot or for the site 3 finalized, and we didn't want to do that and waste time and resources on a project that might be abandoned because we were going to go to lot 4. But we've reached the end of our rope, and we believe we've done exactly what the town asked in trying to find the right location. With that said, the shot clock was extended to tomorrow, so we felt best we'd come and advise the board as to the status that we've really tried to do this, and maybe tomorrow we'll receive a conversation from a call from the landlord saying that they're interested in talking to us. I don't know, but they're big business hurdles that even if they call, that are going to get to that point. So at this point, I think we are telling you that we're gonna finalize the plans for location 3 and be back. But so came to want to advise the board and let you know. I mean, I've been in touch with Chris Nadler throughout, trying to say, look, this is what we're doing. And we're here. And so I expected to get the plans for parcel 3 finalized. We've done the balloon fly. You saw those comparative photos. The plans are I would say 80% complete. So hopefully within short order here, we could get the information in the plans, the EAF, et cetera, for location 3, I would say in the next couple of weeks. I would think that this needs to go back to county planning because it is a new location. So I wanted to get on an agenda out far enough that would give us a couple of weeks to get the county planning and, we sort of see if we have that opportunity.
Yeah, it's a new location and a new owner
Yeah.
too. So there's a lot of new things about this. Okay, is that?
Yeah, that's that. Just want to give you a status update.
Okay.
And obviously extend the shot clock as we have previously to allow us to continue.
Well, I don't want to speak for the board, but I think it was the consensus of the board. You had, the last time you were here was asking for our interest in location 4. And I think it was the consensus, the entire board, that the location 4 was the preferred location. To now go back to location 3, somewhat confusing to us, in the sense that I thought location 4 was something that the new owner wanted, so that location 3 would free them up for agricultural purposes, because he didn't want location 3 affecting his ability to farm the land.
Correct.
And I thought it was a win-win for both the owner and, but apparently it wasn't a win-win for Verizon or, you know,
Well,
in terms of trying to bring everything together. Again, I think I'm disappointed, to hear that. We were hoping, we thought we had a solution, to move it into the woods, at least as far as the pad. And, only see half the tower than rather all the tower. Ward, how you feel?
My question to it is, 3, we talked about last time, moving it around the corner. And we had discussed that, we had talked about it. And did you do that on 3 or is it a straight shot still?
Been a little while.
We had a long discussion about making a hard right-hand turn and
Yeah.
burying it back in the right-hand corner. I can approach.
Sure.
You can see the plans that we have.
Okay, good, because I'm looking at something different. That's kind of where we were at.
These are unsubmitted.
These are unsubmitted, these are draft.
They were-
But that is,
They're not-
Double secrets.
These are what I have. They're not yet final, as I said. So we stopped because, again, we were hoping that lot 4 would go as well. We've invested time and money and legal fees in trying to make 4 work. It's just, we asked to hear from him and we haven't heard from him.
that's all. I just want to make sure.
Well, the other thing, I mean, all this time has passed. I guess it's been almost a year that this application's been in review. I think you had supplied information that technically confirmed the need for a tower in terms of, you know, areas that don't have coverage. I'm not sure if the need for the tower is there anymore. I mean, there's been no petitions from any of the users. There's been no influx of information, people coming into us saying, a lot of times with towers, we actually have people coming in say the sooner the better. And in this case, we've heard nothing in terms of people in dire need of the tower. You certainly provided the technical information as to that where the areas do not overlap and you have a gap. But I'm just wondering, I think the need is a competitive need of Verizon to be competitive with other providers. And apparently people have other options to go to other providers. And the reason Verizon wants to build this tower is to be competitive with AT&T and T-Mobile and all the other providers. So I'm starting to feel the need for the tower is waning. Because it's been a year. There's been no tower out there. We've had no pressure from anyone that lives there to see the tower installed. And the other thing that had me thinking is in the reasoning and the approval process of this board, we have to make sure that it meets the goal of the comprehensive plan. And in this case, the preservation of farming has become a very big issue in Canandaigua. Right now, we have a solar application up in the north end of town that is feeling extreme pressure from the agricultural community to not be installed because it's felt that the pressure or the comp plan emphasizes the need for agriculture. And in this case, we feel that with location 1, 2, or 3, that it is affecting the agricultural ability of the property to function as a farm. And but if location 4 is considered, that's not really in the farming area or the farming footprint. And that would be, again, a reason why location 4 would be considered if any location is considered at all. So I'm just throwing these out. There are things that I was thinking about. I wasn't sure where the meeting was going tonight. And I appreciate your coming in and giving us the update. Appreciate your extending the shot clock. Appreciate your ability to allow us to continue the hearing. And, again, board. any
I could just respond to it. To your
Sure.
comments. I feel like, two things. I'll start with your latter part, your latter comment first. If you recall, when we first came in to the site, location one, reason why location one was chosen was because the owner at the time, Mr. Sensenig, had determined that that area of the farm is not particularly productive. We went to your ag committee and your ag committee recommended approval of that location. And for now, for you to tell me after we moved it the way you guys wanted it, that we are damaging farmland seems a little bit disjointed. Secondly, with regard to the time that you're saying, again, we went to location one because he said that that area of the farm is not particularly productive. So if we're concerned about productive farmland, I think location one was the place to go. And we said that at the time and we meant it. And again, we balance those two things against concerns for the proximity to neighbors that were raised. And we balanced those two things and the board did. So now to push that back on us and saying that we're damaging farmlands it's troubling to me to hear that from you, because we did exactly what you all wanted us to do in moving it away when we were in a portion of the farm that wasn't productive. But we'll leave that aside. Also, in an effort to try to work with the planning board on alternate locations, obviously the need for the tower was established. I can assure you that Verizon, the need for Verizon's network across upstate New York is, because I'm in towns all over upstate New York weekly. There's a high demand for the service. I can assure you that Verizon has the most quality network. It sounds like I'm selling for Verizon. I'm not. I know this because Verizon is number one in the market for coverage in the area, et cetera, in upstate New York. So we're not competing with anyone. We're competing with our license that requires us to provide reliable service to the area of all the needs and throughout the upstate New York. If we didn't, there's more, we need more sites than we have the construction capacity or the budget dollars to build. And so for anyone to think that we're just coming down to Canandaigua because we want to compete with AT&T or we have nothing better to do with our sites, it just doesn't ring true. There's more need than we can actually meet. And so again, we can discuss the need. We've already discussed the need. I think the record's clear on the need in terms of where we are. If the town needs assistance in analyzing the need, I urge you to look at it, have your engineering team look at the need. I can assure you Verizon wouldn't be spending the hundreds of thousands of dollars that it has to build the site. And I would say probably a couple $100,000 in engineering investing in the site to date, the alternate locations, if it didn't need the site. It's just that corporations don't operate that way. And so it's not to compete with AT&T, it's to compete with it has a license from the FCC and it's required to deliver reliable service on those frequencies. That is who its customer is the FCC. If they fail to deliver that, then it's that. But again, we're here, we're trying to get 4 done. And again, he hasn't responded to us since June. So I don't know what else to do. So
Again, I look to the board for any of your comments. I had my say.
I said mine.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at what Ag stated. Ag stated it does not constitute a significant loss of agriculture. So the difference is that we're trying to go from site 3 to site 4 to place it within the trees. The difference of loss there would be the path, because the road would be expanded to increase the loss of square footage. Personal experiences, I still drop cell calls every time I get to the bottom of the hill on 332. So that hasn't changed. And I do have family members over off of Town Line Road that indicate poor service in that area. If there's an alternative, we haven't, and that's not something that I considered. But to me, this is still the same, effectively the same plan that we've been looking at for albeit a year.
A year, no.
So September 24th, I think, is the first time.
Yeah, November 24th.
But I think that feels like it was an attempt to give us a better location. Unfortunately, the landowners, if what we're hearing is accurate, the landowners ones preventing that. It's not the desires of Verizon that's trying to get there. So I think it's the same plan that we've been looking at.
I'm disappointed to hear that 4 is not viable at this point in time. I was envisioned that 4 would probably come in on that southern property and make a straight line back to the woodlot. Therefore reducing the amount of infrastructure that you might have to put in for location number 3. So disappointed.
Maybe there's still hope. If anybody knows the owner and can tell them how important it is to this board to be in the woods, maybe they'll listen to you. I can spin on my head and spit out jelly beans if it'll help, but it's just not,
Well, okay, let's, we have a continuation resolution, keep this thing moving, keep it moving to the next meeting, to a subsequent meeting. When would you, think you would have a plan?
I think we can submit plans in the next couple of weeks, so let's give the time for that to be reviewed, so it's something, and go to the county planning if they were gonna have to review the plan.
You're looking
So-
at 60 days from today, sort of minimum.
I thought maybe if we followed like the PRC schedule essentially for next month.
So I was
we'll put
thinking
it
put it
there,
on
what, the
PRC.
Second meeting in October, I guess, maybe.
Mhm.
That seems reasonable. The second, so what's the second meeting in October? I don't have it open.
Well, one of you.
So with the board's consent, we can extend the shot clock to 10:28 for that, or let's do 10:29 the day after.
Sure.
Okay. We accept the shot clock extension to the 29th.
And then just, you know, of course, we just need to have it in time for the deadline day to submit it to Ontario County, which if you have it in a couple weeks, it should be plenty. It's usually towards the end of the month, so as long as there's no.
So the end of September is what you're saying.
Usually, I'd have to check the calendar online, but it's.
I'm gonna call Kristen in the morning.
December 2nd.
Is the-
well,
December 2nd.
That's the PRC, that's, is it going to PRC then?
This doesn't have to go there.
We're just, if it just has to go to Ontario County, then like Ontario County's deadline day, which is usually later on, and then.
Yeah, I don't know that. Do you know
Just
that?
at 10:50 or 9:15 will be fine.
Yeah.
9:15,
Deadline for with.
don't worry about it.
We're gonna do 9.
They can work it out.
Okay.
All right, we'll get that. That'll be fine by 9:15.
And your application will reflect a new location as well as the new owner.
Correct.
Okay. I don't think should the ECB, would you wanna look at the new, whatever location comes in?
Well, this is
Again.
location 3, isn't it?
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Who knows?
If it's
Might get
location
pulled
4,
more.
we won't be in by September.
Yes.
No, I realize
Yeah.
that.
And if it's location 4, I think it needs to go.
Further.
Well, it will be a full new application if it's location 4.
Correct. It's a new owner.
ECB wanna see the location 3.
Both the ag and the ECB saw location 1.
That's the place they've seen.
What they commented on.
Well, maybe when we refer to
ECB
county,
Probably doesn't need to see 3, but I would say ag. Yeah.
okay. When we do the referral to county planning board, we can also send it to the egg. Okay, we'll take care of that internally. Okay, so we're looking at October 28th as far as the continuation. Further discussion on that?
I give you the motion to continue CPN 2024-117. 2061 County Road 8. To. October 29th, October 29th. On shot clock. 28 shot meetings, shot clock in the thing.
Right.
Thank you. You have plenty of time to make it to Victor.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Further discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, thanks for the update. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, yes. You did come out tonight.
May I?
You may. I really didn't close the well, I did continue the hearing.
Yeah.
I will be incredibly brief. You all know Mark Detweiler, 2021 County Road 8. I just want to stress some of the points that have been made today or some of the points that the neighbor feels Mr. Euler, you said yourself, it's not as if the community has come and clamored for the tower. In fact, I would argue that the local community has come out in a very strong number against the construction of the tower, or at the very least to ensure that the construction of the tower is put in a place that is far from the neighboring homes as possible. Again, I'll stress to you that position one was approximately 400 to 480 feet from the nearest homes. The site three, and I don't know, site four, a little further, assuming it's get tucked into the woods or behind it, we're approximately 1,400 feet. I want to recall, I don't have the numbers in front of me, forgive me. My point is, the community has actually come and said the exact opposite. We would like this either not built or as far from us as possible. And then when it comes to coverage, I do want to stress that I agree with the head of this board. It has been a year. I have a cell phone that operates on the Verizon network. I do not have an issue with coverage in my home, in my backyard. And I do agree that it is evidence that there is a lack of need here. And I would ask you to refer to the filings from our initial response to the application, which in it indicates that our position and argument that there is not a need for this tower as advertised by Verizon themselves, who is required to report their coverage accurately on their website and does so reporting full coverage in that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right, we'll move on then.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have. We'll do the, must be Amanda jumping up.
Hi, I'm Amanda Costanza.
Okay, this is 2025-046, property at the 4958 Station House Drive. It's a site plan approval to put an addition on the rear lake side of a single family home in the RLD. And you have the floor.
This is Tom
I'm
Johnson.
Tom Jones, and I'm the design consultant
Okay,
and support team.
So this is a rear addition to this property, lakeside, basically two covered porches to extend the living outdoors. We are trying to preserve as much of the existing landscaping as possible. There's some terracing, stone walls and landscaping that will remain. And the new structures are simply matching and siding in character to the house. It's an existing non-conforming lot in terms of lot coverage, but we're removing a lot of bluestone patio and replacing it with these pavilions. So we end up being lower in lot coverage than they currently are. And the project will meet all setbacks and building coverage requirements.
good. It's a beautiful home, and I guess it'll be more beautiful with all of this addition. So you actually reduce the lot coverage by 0.6%, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. That's going in the right direction. Let's see, you did supply a shoreline guideline statement. And I think it was in cloud permit. I think everyone on the board had a chance to read it. And essentially it is well landscaped currently, and I guess certainly you're not going to detract from that current landscaping. In fact, I guess improve on it with the addition. So it's sort of like a two covered areas that you're all out the back, and you're going to have, I guess, an outdoor kitchen type on the one side with the grill or the building grill and all that. Very nice. I had a question about the driveway. And I guess it's something you have currently, but it's just questionable. The driveway currently crosses the property line?
It does. It kind of continues on to the neighboring property. It's access, you can access them as well.
And is that something that's subject to an easement or some sort of agreement between you and the adjacent property owner, or is it just a handshake? And
You know, I don't know offhand. They have another access as well. So you could kind of loop through and go up, but you could also not have to use it, because the other property can also be accessed.
Like one big U-shaped driveway that connects to 2 or 3 houses.
okay.
And to Walnut, right?
Right,
Walnut
Walnut
Cove.
Cove.
Well, yeah.
You might hear fruits. So here, it's really easy to see. This is the house we're talking about. This is the neighbor.
Yep.
Here's the neighboring
It's
house.
catching up with us.
There's the neighboring house. And you see how it loops down and goes around like this.
Okay,
So in theory, their driveway could just go down that access, but this is all just lawn.
okay.
So when we go to and from the house, it's always down Station House.
Okay. Okay, I
It's just, this is
Yeah.
just a big shared.
I think it's, you could
Asphalt
essentially
area.
just think of it as, yeah, their asphalt collides, but you don't necessarily share a driveway.
Okay. Well, as long as the neighbors get along.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming there's an easement over this parcel's portion of Walnut Cove Drive.
Right, the neighbors act, they drive down Walnut Cove
They
and
drive
they
in,
go in,
this is a driveway.
Walnut Cove, a public road.
I believe
Good
so,
question.
or it might be a private.
I think
No, it's not public.
it's private.
Well, I said two or three houses, like this U
Yeah.
has these
Oh, yeah.
these three houses. So there's a little driveway here, and then there's this driveway, their garage is actually here. And then the Collier's house, that's their
Okay.
garage. So yeah, there's more asphalt than one would want, but.
Well, as long as you have a agreement that one comes in Walton Cove and the other comes in Station House, you're not. And you don't have any barriers preventing one from getting to the other, so you don't need it, and
Yeah, the
again,
lawn just goes.
as long as
direct from
neighbors
one
get
property
along.
to the next, and the asphalt goes from.
I think
Okay.
that's how the owners use it. I think probably when you have guests, there might be confusion on where to park or something, but yes. I
Okay,
think
well,
they get along.
this addition's not gonna change that, I was just curious, I saw it on the plan. You got your DEC determination, either got it or you're getting it, I guess. The,
We applied for it, but I haven't heard. so-
okay, is that, is it something that's needed, Eric, and, or least condition? Yeah,
EC, yeah, number 4.
okay. Good, good. Okay,
Just a jurisdictional determination for those in the jurisdiction.
well, it's in the scenic view shed, so we're, as a board, we're acknowledging that, and again, it's subject to the shoreline guidelines, which we've seen and I assume we're considering. In our eye features, there's obviously floodplain involved with the lake, and the view shed, so that's something that's under consideration, and get no code enforcement didn't give us any comments on it, so I assume there's no issues with the floodplain as far as elevation or anything like that. I know floodplains are changing down along the lake, so as a result of the new FEMA mapping,
Yeah,
but
we're pretty elevated at this point,
yeah,
so.
yeah, you're well up there. Ward, anything else you folks have?
I do. I was out there today looking at it. My question really deals with water. Where is it gonna go? I didn't see, you all have downspouts going into something. I couldn't see anything in the lake where it goes. Where does it go? And where is this new water gonna go?
Well, we've called for just downspouts to splash blocks and riprap beds. That's kind of what we agreed on with the planning review committee and the landscape architect.
So currently your house goes into a drain someplace.
Oh, you're asking where it currently goes?
Currently, yeah. What does it do now?
You know, I'm not completely sure, to be honest.
It goes someplace. I couldn't see any outlet into the lake, which is good, which is good. Sorry. But you're going to splash blocks on the new bar. Is that what you said?
It's just for the 2 porches.
Okay.
Well, that was a concern of the ECB also. They were
Yeah,
concerned about the control of both the, I guess, current and proposed expansion extensions of the roof drains.
are you gonna? I wish I could see that on the plan.
Remember how there was something that was running the light to the south
Oh, that's
property line,
their
it's like within the
sewer,
basement?
their sewer.
Oh, that's the sewer, sorry.
What are you, on the plans, it was called out on the architectural drawings, the, on A 2.0 and A 3.0.
Yeah, but their site plan is what's gonna be approved. I don't see anything on it.
Didn't comment on that, I didn't cite the plans.
Okay.
Logan Rothschild.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hope so, be good.
You're on the clock.
Yeah. As I understand, we're just gonna use the existing drainage system to hook into since we're decreasing the lot coverage. And we're not over the 20,000 square foot of disturbance. By code, it's not a concern that we usually
No,
initiate until we pass that threshold. So we didn't look into implementing stormwater mitigation measures at this point.
anything on the lake, we should be.
Fair enough.
We should be filtering or stopping it before it gets into the lake.
Well, that's
That's what I was wondering.
we usually put it on the site plan after we have a conversation with you guys and see what your comments would be before we implement measures that are going to be an additional cost to the client.
Sure.
Logan, do you know what the current?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe-
It's usually on the existing conditions plan. Sometimes we talked to the town and got, or the DPW to try to get record maps of any sort of infrastructure that was on site, and it was very archaic and not the most useful. I know our survey team is pretty diligent at getting existing conditions. I'm not sure if there's a daylight that goes off to a different property.
Couldn't
Or
find it.
I don't know what infrastructure or permits were granted for
When
this
they built the
property in
house.
the past.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one to answer.
Okay,
I think there's something, needs to be something on the plan of how it's gonna be mitigated. At
mhm.
least, I think it's gotta be out there.
Would the board be comfortable with if we did somehow cite where the existing drainage goes hooking up to that, or do they want to see something further for mitigation?
Well, if we knew what's there now.
Right.
Where's it
we
go?
can see, you know.
So, I
what
mean-
capacity that.
I
would
mean,
have.
there's two avenues that we could go down. We could do a little bit more research and site investigation to find out what the existing is, or we could just implement a dry well like we usually do.
I would
And
be,
that's a conversation
Yeah.
that I can't answer,
Mhm.
and my client or your client will have to kind of,
How would you locate the dry wells?
I mean, be,
you
Can I
almost
do-
have to have two of them
yeah,
for either
definitely.
side.
Yep.
And then you're running out of room.
I mean,
And I know-
it could potentially be one. I mean, you take the downspouts, put them in the ground, and then hook up to one central main that goes into the one central dry well, like in the middle of the lawn. So there potentially could be just one, but it's just this creating the infrastructure underground.
And the other thing we have to watch is the vegetation that's there in terms of not disturbing that. Because I think there's a good sized tree there that we want to protect the root system.
Right, I
So
mean,
we'd only be out
if anything,
doing anything, you know.
if you go
I'm
here,
thinking, yeah, that
here,
north side.
here, we could have one central dry well. But you take like a 4-inch PVC
Mhm.
and just tie it in somewhere in here.
I think something has to be done before.
Okay, that's fine, but that's part of the conversation we wanted to have with the
Okay.
planning board.
Would the downspouts currently be feeding the terrace landscaping in some way, shape or form?
Not likely.
Not like.
That was actually a thought of mine too, like filtering it through there.
I mean,
You know, like a,
just knowing that there's retaining walls and dry
Yeah.
packed stone, it's not typical to
yeah.
run water behind.
Oh, I know. It looks like that one wall is actually leaning a little
Yeah.
bit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was-
So, but that's something we will implement
Okay.
that as a
Why don't we
condition.
just, in general
based on-
terms, require some sort of
Okay.
sort of mitigation? Okay.
I think we were also,
Thanks
since
for-
we were kind of under the impression since we were going down in lot coverage that we wouldn't need as drastic of measures, but you're kind of wanting to get your feedback to find out.
Well, I think part of the concern is we don't know where the existing house goes. I mean,
Lake water comes.
what we don't know, I guess, is a little bit of a concern, but, and it hasn't been shown to us as to where it goes, so I guess what we're concerned about is controlling what's being added as far as the additions, and if we can be assured that at least what's being added is being somewhat mitigated, I think that we've done our job. Correct. Okay, anything else, board? So yeah, that took care, ECB had that same concern. They're also concerned about protecting the root zones of the existing vegetation. And in terms of the construction of the additions. We did not get any comments from the county planning board, even though they were referred. Roof drains we talked about. And the county sewer district, yeah, this is the one with the sewer easement down along the lake. And we haven't heard anything from them, but really it's nothing that's affecting them, so they should be okay. Anything else from the board? How about anyone from the public? Do we have anybody online? Nobody online? They have better things to watch tonight. Okay, well then, let's move on with the application itself. We've got the seeker type 2 site plan resolutions. It's fairly simple. I'll take a motion for both the seeker and the site plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the single site plan resolution at CPN 25046 at 4958 Station House Drive with the type 2 seeker resolution at the same meeting with an additional condition.
Excuse me, 2 conditions,
2 additional conditions.
2 additional conditions, 6 total. The board ran 5th condition, still trying to find our standard language for it, but essentially it's the effect of permits are conditioned on New York State DEC jurisdictional determination and subsequent review as needed. And then finally the approval. And then the 6th condition being prior to signatures on plans to be revised to include stormwater infiltration measures for the building coverage, such as a dry well.
That'll be satisfactory to the town engineer.
Engineer or code enforcement?
All right, code enforcement.
Code enforcement.
I think code, yeah, I think what Mike's office. Okay,
I'll second.
thank you. You have a motion and a second for both resolutions. Further discussion, if not all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Good, thank you so much.
All right, next, flip the page. You're doing airport?
Yep.
Okay. 25-053, Marks Engineering, presenting Mr. Snook. For a property, it now has an address of 5530 Airport Road. Site plan reapproval. And so we've seen it before, we're seeing it again. Logan,
Yeah, so this is like you said, a reapproval, same site plan that was submitted, except for revisions based on MRB's, comment letter. Just one thing that did come up, and I'm not sure how the town has been dealing with this, is the new DEC regulations with potential wetlands based on the information map. I mean, this was approved before the new regulations, and there is potential wetlands, but it's under an acre potentially, and some are man-made.
Is that the thing off the right?
Yeah, it's like the hash
Amoeba?
pattern.
Okay.
So in my mind, I doubt that it's gonna be taken over by DEC, which means there wouldn't be 100-foot buffer. And what we have proposed is not encroaching on any of the potential wetlands. So I'm not sure if you're requiring us to get this delineated and get a JD, or can we just get it approved without that process?
That's such a simple question. I'm gonna ask Eric to answer.
Yeah,
My understanding is that basically if the environmental review was done, determined prior to the new regs, then it was fine, but in this case, the project expired and you're redoing the environmental review. So I think you have to.
yeah, I mean, when we first got it approved, the informational mapping didn't indicate a DEC wetland. So it wasn't even a question. Usually, on the previous website, you'd see it on there, it was either a federal or DEC, and it was like pretty straightforward. If there was like DEC, potential DEC, you'd get it delineated, but we didn't see that, and it's not even on Encore right now as
Oh.
potential, so.
So DEC's at least added it in the interim.
Well, they added,
to the
even if it
information.
was even if it's federal, they add it to the purple layer as potential or informational.
Yeah.
And they want you to get it delineated.
When they
Because-
get a JD, I mean, you don't have to do delineation, they define, right?
Right.
Submit it and say before signatures on the plans. If they say you need delineation, then
But-
get that before.
I mean, but that could also take, 6 months.
So it should
So,
take how many days? They have 90 days to.
90 days for the JD and then.
I've seen it take longer than that.
beyond that.
But this is new territory for me, I'm just trying to get feedback. So I know in future how to better,
Yeah,
more efficiently get this done.
certainly understand the concern. My understanding of it, and something certainly look into that from this meeting.
Oh, so it is on there
That
now.
required it. But the planning board is redoing the environmental review because it expired with the previous approval.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I
treating
think
it
that
the new application.
Yeah.
Right, so it seems appropriate that it be
Right.
submitted to them to follow those up, but
Yeah.
we can look.
Well,
at it. Sure.
then my next question was, can we make that a condition of approval based on the JD or the
Yeah, I think that's what-
potential
that's what Chris is.
review by the DEC?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Prior to permits, prior to signature, I mean, signature
you need
questions
to do-
out, so.
I think it's both.
I think you need prior to your signature, because did you say if there are?
Well, if there
wetlands,
are, and if
it changes your design.
it changes the design, because
And on this case-
it's very close to our stormwater, and we might have to make it within that 100-foot buffer if it is DEC wetland.
Yeah, that's I guess the chance anyone takes as far as a reapplication is
Yeah.
if standards change,
Yeah, and
either locally or
and that's exactly
federal
what
or
it is,
state,
so.
you're subject to the new standards. So speaking of that, are there any new standards that apply from the town standpoint or?
Not
county?
that I've seen. This is the only one that came to,
And I think the reason you had said that it expired was that the applicant had gotten busy doing business,
Yeah.
landscaping and just not.
yeah,
get-
and
get around.
we had too many extensions.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Good. Ran out the clock on that.
Yeah,
So it is a new application. It's, and any changes, including the wetlands delineation, any changes would have to apply.
Certainly.
Were you able to get most of the other conditions? And I think,
Yeah,
I
that's,
think
the
your,
only one that
your
really-
resolution essentially
yeah, I mean, the main thing for the
included those
extensions
conditions, right?
initially was getting the go-ahead from the DPW. It was their comments that kind of was holding some up because the architect had to talk to my client wasn't available to talk to the architect, so it took forever to get the information that the DPW wanted as far as architectural details. So we, as of right now, we have all that. The correspondences, I believe, have been uploaded, or at least were uploaded at one time.
Okay.
So we have all the information that was in the initial conditions, and we've made the revisions based on MRB comments.
Just want to make sure you
Yeah.
weren't hung up on
No,
something before and we
no,
wind up having to do an
no.
extension again.
No.
Okay, the MRB comments. Anything you see pending, Eric, that's an issue?
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember, I didn't write anything down, so I guess it was nothing. The code enforcement said we need a building permit application, obviously. Canandaigua Farmington, you're squared away with them as far as the water and the sewer.
Yep.
Okay, that's important. Don't let that hang you up. Does the new plan show the sidewalk easement?
Yep.
Oh, does it?
There is an easement plan.
Okay,
with
I
the
didn't,
step.
maybe, okay, I didn't get that far then.
It's
Didn't
on
say.
the previous pages, if you want to scroll up. Okay.
So we are showing a 15-foot sidewalk easement
Yeah.
along airport on your side of the road?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, you might be able to see it on this plan, right?
and you got your SHPO letter back when you got your original approval?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep,
I mean, you can kind of see it on this plan. It's the
okay, I guess I
the
lost
dark
it,
hatch.
I lost it in the shading.
I see it. It's in that field, the lovely little planting.
Okay. It's been confirmed by attorney, so. I think. And I think we talked about the trash and recycling enclosures. I think that was one of the last items you
Yep.
completed the last time we were
Mhm.
before us. Storage pads, there was concern on the salt storage pad that was gonna be, make sure it was impervious. Okay, I think
Right, I mean, it'll probably be
concrete.
concrete, yeah,
Okay,
well, just for leaching and
so you
stuff
don't
like
have
that.
salt leachate in there,
Yeah.
okay? And your other pads for the ground cover, the mulch and all that's all
Yeah. Mulch,
stuff.
stone. All
Okay.
the good landscaping stuff that they.
Anybody in the audience? Board, do you have any other questions, concerns?
No.
Comments? Okay, we, I guess, gotta handle the seeker all over again since it's an application, so. This is unlisted because it's.
Go ahead.
We can do it. And it's unlisted because it's commercial property or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we've got a secret determination unlisted. Part one's been submitted by the applicant. Part two submitted on our behalf by MRB. So all of the responses, anybody have any objections to those responses?
No.
No, part two or three, okay, then we're ready to move on, let's move on to seeker, give me a motion on seeker application.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion, a second, then we have a determination of non-significance for this application, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, site plan.
I'll take the site plan too, so I'll make a motion for the site plan approval for 25053 on Airport Road. Eric, did we have any updates
One
or additions?
additional condition. Number 10, that prior to signatures being placed on the plans, referral shall be made for jurisdictional determination, New York State DEC. and satisfactory determination be received and forwarded to the town government.
Accept that, okay.
Looks good.
There's, the condition is accepted, a second.
Second it.
Thank you very much. For discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's have it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you're good.
Have a nice night.
You too.
All right. Got the 2025-072 Ashley Lang. This is a public hearing for a special use permit to install a 150 square foot permanent commercial speech sign for the spirit of Halloween on a 157-foot frontage unit in a multi-tenant building in the CC zoning district. Someone here representing the applicant.
So this one didn't get the variance, right?
No.
The certificate, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think, this didn't need a ZBA, right?
It's not a state thing.
Yes, no, maybe so. Getting close to Halloween, somebody better. Time's moving on. Do they have a temporary sign up, a banner?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I knew they had asked for it. Okay.
Last time I was through,
Excuse me?
last time I was through there, Nick.
Okay, are you looking for your costume?
No. Yeah, I don't need that. I got enough stuff.
Well, okay, we're at an impasse here. We don't have an applicant. So I guess we continue. So let's move to the 9th. And Kristen, you can certify the applicant was notified or at
Yeah.
least got by file permit. Okay, so I guess we try to move it to the 9th. Or we will move it to the 9th. Have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second, so second, Tim? Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. That's not the way we like to see it. We want to continue. Okay, 2025-073. James Basil has a property of 3391 Middle Cheshire Road. And this is Ferris Hills in Clark Meadows.
That's right.
Okay,
Good evening.
and you are, sir.
Trevor Van Sickle, an architect, CPO.
John Drawlow, Jim Basile is the managing engineer, I'm the project engineer.
Okay, I remember you from PRC.
Yep.
Well, welcome, fellas. Tell us about what you're doing out there.
Yeah, so the proposed project's a approximately 3,500 square foot addition to the existing Ferris Hills complex. It will house part of a 14-bed special needs assisted living facility for residents with dementia. It is a continuation of the previously approved when the original complex was constructed. There was 2 additions identified. This is one of them to fulfill that piece of it. It'll be a single-story wood frame building. The exterior is of the same materials and details as the existing, all of the same cultured stone base and fiber trim and siding. For the site plan, there's a 5,500, approximately 5,500 square foot outdoor area in the courtyard that's created. It'll be a walking track for the residents. It is sort of fenced in because it is residents with dementia with the plantings. And I know that we had one comment about changing the plantings, which I know we've done. And John can speak to the site plan more.
Yes. Received the comments from town, town's engineer, and then we uploaded a response to that letter yesterday. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at that. We didn't have any issues with the comments provided, and I guess I'll turn it back to the board and see if there's any concerns or questions we want to discuss further.
One other item, we mentioned the landscaping, and I guess it was the ECB had wanted to make sure everything was native species.
Yeah, we our landscape architect has replaced the planning of concern with a more appropriate version.
Okay. obvious for, as far as, you know, impervious, I mean, you've got a big lot there.
Mhm.
But I guess the only issue with Ferris Hills, Clark Meadow. There's been some concern about stormwater, and I know MRB mentioned it in their letter about it, doing a pond inspection and. Making sure that the pond is functioning as it should function, because there has been flooding downhill, and a lot of times these residents point to Ferris Hills, and but looking at it in terms of the topography, what's causing their problem, I don't think is totally Ferris Hills. I think you guys are north and a little bit east of where the problem's coming from. But just want to make sure, since we have the opportunity to have you in front of us, that you are taking measures, or you have taken measures to ensure that the stormwater is functioning as it should function.
Mhm.
Do you typically do a pond inspection, or does the
We-
management there?
We did look at the pond and it's appeared to be functioning, you know,
It wasn't.
properly. We didn't see any, you know, washout areas or things that were telling us there was some sort of a major overflow or regular events where, you know, drainage was not being contained or at least controlled. That said, you know, we've spoken with the property maintenance director, and he said that he'd be happy to, you know, clean out the pond and get rid of some of the cattails and some of the things that have kind of grown over the years, just to help improve capacity and that type of thing. In terms of what we're doing here, we're, you know, as Trevor mentioned, we are building an addition that was part of the original project that was included in the original pond design. And we're actually, you know, about half the size of the proposed addition. So we're still within the limits of our imperviousness and all that kind of stuff. So the pond should be capable of handling what we're going to be sending to it with this addition. And the courtyard adjacent to it. So, but as part of MRB's comments, they asked that we do a more thorough, a little more in-depth look at the pond and that kind of thing. We're going to put together an engineering report. You know, we have some of the pieces from the previous approval condition or information that we're trying to basically pull together and kind of compare where we are with that. I've got a drainage map, things like that we pulled together. So I think we're in pretty good shape in that regard.
I guess one area that, the area, the dog leg that runs out toward Westlake Road from the property.
Okay.
There is a rather major, stormwater, channel down there. If you want to go over toward
Which way?
Westlake. Up to the upper right corner there. Okay, there is I guess a large culvert that goes under the driveway down there, and it conveys a water course that runs along the back of those homes on Westlake, and eventually get down to a property that could be in the future considered by this board for a development. And I just want to make sure that you're not contributing anything to the cause of the potential surcharging of that channel that occurs during heavy rains. And make sure that the channels, the culvert inflow and outflow are clean. Are you with me as far as where we're talking
So
about?
you're saying there's a culvert that runs across the
It runs
driveway.
parallel with Westlake Road,
Right,
yeah.
right. So it crosses the driveway, basically carries the drainage along. I assume there's a ditch of some sort along Westlake that is carrying.
I think it's further up, not on Westlake, it's up further. Because it's behind
behind
these
the
homes,
homes.
it's behind these homes on Westlake.
It's right here. Should have showed it there.
Right past the walk track to the left, there's a green patch, I think is where it is. To the north of the green, of that walking path. There's a green patch right there, I think it's.
Can go to the, I think in file, you have the original plans or the, before the project was even built. That could be it. The 99 approved site plan.
Oh.
Open that, see what happens. That's, yeah, sure, I'm sure it's down. There's gotta be,
It's to the north there on that picture.
Maybe
oh, it's going off, there's the driveway to the lower right goes out to West Lake. Is there another, do you wanna scroll a little further? Might be another extension of that plan.
Shoot, sheet to the right.
That's it?
That's really what.
That's it, okay. I saw it somewhere.
I see it on Encore. It's right.
Yeah.
It's
right there.
I guess what I'm saying is, what's on your property, just make sure that culvert has. That the inflow and the outflow are cleaned up, that's not causing any problems. You're not the root cause or the cause of contributing to the problem.
That's it. I mean, that is beyond our pond, so I would expect the pond to be controlling things, and then, of course, that's part of the discharge, I believe. But,
I mean, I would like to also look at, I mean, you mentioned maintenance, that guy, that your maintenance guy said you could look into that. I think you need to have more of a maintenance plan.
yeah, I
Don't let
think
it
that,
get to
yeah,
this
it's something
point.
that's become more common now, of course, back 25 years ago when this was first done, that wasn't
Yeah.
the case. But as far as we know, we do not have that maintenance agreement in place, so that's one of the things that we mentioned that we would, work on with the town to get that squared away.
Like an annual plan
Easement
or
and
something,
maintenance
some kind of something.
Yeah, and then easement over the pond itself.
Yeah, so you don't know if there is the easement in place that's shown on the original approved plan?
I spoke with the property, the maintenance manager there, and he doesn't seem to believe there is one, but he doesn't know for sure either. We were hoping the town could help us kind of dig through some of that, but haven't had too much luck with that either. We need a surveyor involved and see if they can do some records lookup and that kind of thing, and see if we can track down what easements are part of the property and whatever's with the deed at this point.
So, since that, is your client the property owner?
I
Of the
believe they
whole
own the property, don't they?
Our client is, URMC,
Owns stage one as well?
Ferris Hills.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, you said you talked to the property manager, I didn't know if that was.
The URMC's property.
Okay, it's a
yeah,
big company.
management,
Okay.
sorry.
So the stormwater management facility was designed over 25 years ago.
Correct.
Will this addition cause it to be upgraded to today's standards with prior improvements and?
Based on our review, no.
No, okay.
But future improvements will be considered in that, whether.
Yep.
whether that's an upgrade, essentially.
Yeah, our understanding is we're below the threshold, but one of the comments from your engineer was that they would like to have a note on the plans that the next time we do an addition, at that time, bring it all up to snuff as far as green infrastructure and that type of thing. So,
Plus getting the easement. And
yes.
management agreement, which is something that obviously didn't exist in '99, but now's the opportunity to get it.
Yep.
Well, it's a good opportunity to make sure that none of that water continues all over the town, of course,
Have you
that we've been hearing.
looked at you looked over the previous zoning?
Yes, we have, well,
Was it
we-
designed for a 25-year storm or?
it was nice for, 100 years, up to the 100-year storm of controls.
Okay.
And then discharge is, below or at what the existing was then.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. So we're getting the agreement, you have that in your review, so that's addition, and then. As far as the maintenance, how you handling that?
It is in our letter, but I'm gonna make a conditional approval document from our maintenance agreement. And the easement, essentially, and signed by the city.
Sounds like a plan. Is that okay with the board?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Snoop. Anybody from the audience like to address the board regarding this application from Ferris Hill Park Meadows? And this is really Clark Meadows building.
That's correct.
Getting the addition, yeah.
Clark Meadows at Ferris Hills.
Okay, hearing none. Let's move on. With the seeker. Oh, there it is. So it's a unlisted action. Got part one from the applicant. Signed by Jim Dietz, Director of Facilities. That's the maintenance guy you're referring to?
So Jim is the Director of Facilities at Thompson.
Oh, Thompson, okay. We have part 2 and 3 that it's filled up by Edward B. We in agreement with those responses. If we are, I need a motion for the seeker resolution for the unlisted action.
I hear you saying so moved, Amanda?
I was getting there. Sorry, scrolling past the thingy, the sign, so moved.
One of these.
I did.
Do I have a
Second.
okay? I got a motion second on seeker to declare this as an unlisted action, but all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's move on to the site plan. We've got 6 conditions currently.
We hear the additions, Eric?
2 suggested additions, prior signatures on plans, Town Planning and Stormwater Maintenance Agreement shall be signed and provided by the applicant. And here's some standard numbers for some improvement. Condition 8, prior to signing, easements shall be provided over the stormwater management facilities. Easement shall be reviewed and approved by the town engineer and the town attorney, and accepted as necessary by the town board.
I think there's something about inspection.
Facility. That was included as part of our review letter. We can make that a condition as well.
This should be,
Like,
up to you. Is it okay in their review letter?
It's in a review letter, sure, it's not.
the one thing I didn't include as a condition, and they mentioned, cleaning out the facilities. It's not. That will
Okay.
cover in our review,
Let me-
but
Let me elaborate then. An inspection of the facilities to determine that it's functioning as it was originally designed.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Tim. Condition 6 has the removal of the dreaded Japanese spirea. And Jim Fletcher had asked that the water lines and sewer lines be shown. And you got that covered with condition number 5. And I think takes care of it. So again, did I get a message? Did I get a motion?
Motion with 9 conditions.
Right.
So move for CPN 25073 single site plan resolution. Let's say site plan.
Okay,
Second.
second. For discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All righty. Anthony, you're up. 25074 Mobile Road. Site plan approval for lots 7 and 8 on Mobile Road. This is 2 vacant lots that were created a while back, I guess back in 20.
Yeah, I believe it was 2020. They were
Yeah.
kind of waiting on a tenant to put in one of the buildings. So they do have a tenant and now they want to move forward with the extension of Mobile Road there. As part of this plan, we do have to widen and pave Mobile Road to bring it up to standards. Mike and I have gone through that a couple times as he wants us to expand that. So the plan is going to be to, I think I uploaded a newer plan than this. But it'll work for this. Is there a newer one?
Is one from, well,
There was one that Mike wanted us to.
that's the newest one.
Okay. There's only one difference, but I can upload that. But there, what about farther down?
What's that?
Is that the same one or is that a newer one?
The one from the first?
There's two site plans there.
I've got two to choose from.
I guess go to that one. I don't think there was many changes, but so the plan is to develop those two lots, the first lot being the immediate one that's going to be built upon. That would be the structure that's in the Stellas parking lot right now. That'll finally be moved off of the Stellas parking lot and put on a. We approved just to get it. So as part of this project, with the town of Farmington we're working with is to extend, they want us to extend the sewer main and also the water main. That's kind of why we've been waiting for this project, because they're inherently, the sewer line's inherently deep there. It's about 13 feet deep, so it's kind of a significant project to extend it to their to satisfy what they want us to do. They won't let us just tie into it. So as part of the broader project, we're gonna just kind of go for both lots at this time to get them approved. There's no immediate building going on that westerly lot, just the easterly lot for right now. There's gonna be a temporary turnaround on Mobile Road that will tie into a proposed, the whole Purdy Road, Town Line Road extension. So that turnaround will be there, kind of in the same form factor where that road's gonna go in the future. That plan is being reworked on as we speak, so it will tie into a future drive that connects Purdy Road and Town Line Road. But for now, we're just gonna use it as a turnaround. Okay.
Sorry,
So-
what?
So this is actually, I have one. So Mobile Road's gonna come in and it's gonna turn, and there's gonna be a turnaround.
Oh,
I did that.
I wasn't missing it on. the
No,
plan.
no, you're not. But I can, it is there. I don't, it's the wrong plan. So.
The subdivision was approved, recorded, right?
Based upon us doing this as.
And I think that plan's in here somewhere. And that included I guess a 60-foot easement or right of way. I know we're putting two more homes on Mobile.
Hang on, Kim, if you can put the 7-1 plan up. It's got the thing that he's, the imaginary thing, I think. Sorry, Chuck.
No,
I think
and Chris, that's why when.
Yeah, that's where it is.
To hang around is, it had a 60-foot right of way from 332 back. And again, an effort to somehow make this thing more than just a country lane that nobody owns or maintains.
No, as part of the overall project, there will be that right of way that's dedicated. But not right now, because Mobile Road's technically.
Okay, was there an easement created? Well, the subdivision referred to a 60-foot right of way easement to the town.
Mhm.
And it included provided for a hammerhead. That sort of dropped down to the.
Yeah, I think when we did this subdivision, there wasn't a good solid plan on where the future road was going. So I don't know if that was ever filed.
Well, eventually it did show a connection. And I know MRB, I think Lance was involved and they want
The
to make
subdivision
sure
map's in there. So.
that there was adequate site distance into the new road. It didn't come out on the curve there. Again, board members, do you remember all this discussion? So just want to make sure what we're approving tonight, what we're considering tonight, isn't in any conflict or in contrast to what was approved as part of the subdivision.
The subdivision map's on there, I believe.
Want to pull up the subdivision map? Thank you.
I don't think anything was actually filed for the town of Kennewick.
Well, I think one of the conditions was that the easement agreements be submitted and reviewed by our attorney and. Oh, there.
The subdivision plans are to be revised to provide a 60-foot right of way easement.
There it is.
On a Canandaigua or Mobile Road extending from 332 to the existing right of way that cuts through the remaining lands.
Okay.
The easement language in the map will be provided to the town attorney and MRB for review this file as part of the subdivision.
Oh, that one. Yeah, but I don't
That probably doesn't overlay.
really
Perfectly.
remember that.
Seeing it being filed. We planned on it, we proposed it, but I don't believe it was filed.
So let's add that to this condition.
What, the 60-foot right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already have it in the draft. I pulled it from the previous.
Perfect then. 60-foot right away,
on Mobile Road that includes where the turnaround will be.
So condition 7, the site plans are revised by a 60-foot right of way easement to the town of Canyon with Mobile Road extending from New York State 332 to the existing right of way that cuts through the remaining lands. Easement line is mapped and right of the town attorney town engineer for review and approval. Easement shall be filed on Ontario County library page, noted on the site plans prior to signing by the planning board chairperson.
Perfect.
Wait, so Anthony, does the. Is this accurate to where the road, or the right?
That is where the easement is, and that is accurate to where the road will be, because it's gonna parallel that water line.
Okay.
That was the best way that the town, we kind of went back and forth a couple times, and that is where that main artery is gonna go through.
What you're proposing doesn't have. You're gonna give a right of way there. And install
So if you go back to that other one, I'll show you. What I'm gonna propose, what I can propose, is we'll bring that right away to follow the curve of the road. And then we'll include your typical 120-foot wide turnaround. And include that in the right away. Will that work?
So instead of the right of way that
We'd have to modify it, because that.
we
the
should
original-
have, the right of way should go that.
The one that we'll file will be updated and then filed.
Seems to be okay, right?
Yeah, well, with this, you're creating like a common
It'll
driveway.
be just a single private drive. Or a single
It's a shared,
private drive with 2 lots off. So it'll be a shared driveway,
Okay,
it's an extension.
which has to be subject to an easement agreement.
which we'll do, yes.
Shared.
I don't know.
Because the subdivision Mobile Road went right across the front, okay? And I guess
It did, but they didn't want the, with how it was being designed.
it came out at the curve.
Turnaround, another turnout and another intersection in that
I
road.
agree, I think we talked about,
And you
Even
wanted us to
down.
turn it down.
okay, so then it became. What do we do with those 2 lots hanging out there? And I guess this is what we're
Yeah.
trying to do. Is or service them by means of a common drive.
And that was, that Mobile Road, that dip where it goes down was based more or less on where MRP had it, tying into Mobile Road.
So now.
On the original like sketch plan.
Certain we talked about this the last time around, but. Nobody owns Mobile Road, or does the town already own it, or do we not know?
That's what I was gonna ask, does this?
Those are
really
questions.
That was the question then, and I guess it's still the question now.
Because I don't know that the town wants. I mean.
Well, it's
I
gonna
don't
be,
Give it, but the town board might not necessarily.
It will be-
Fletcher might not
yeah,
necessarily.
it'll be upgraded to town standards.
Well, the code
For us,
also
Mike.
changed.
As part of this, Mike's making this upgraded. For the
Oh.
2 lots. Cause it's not, so as part of this plan, there
You
is,
said that,
an
I
update,
didn't
yeah.
connect
Mhm.
it, sorry.
so it'll come up to more of a standard.
Okay.
But we also have a code change on private drives. This was,
It's through,
I think 2 will.
2 is
Right?
but it's,
It's-
is it 2 or, I mean, this is an extension of mobile. This is not a driveway.
but it's already a pre-approved subdivision, but before that was a law. That law was 2 years ago and this was done in 2020. So they're approved
Think-
lots.
The intent is to make Mobile a public road.
Correct.
If and when the.
Correct, and this will be 2
Spine Road-
off of that.
When the Spine Road is.
And I think that's why Mike Murphy is making them bring that up to public road standards.
Yes.
I agree with you 100%. This isn't approvable if Mobile Road stays the way it is. If they bring it up to standard, Jim Fletcher approves it and the town board accepts it, then we don't have a private road issue, right?
But they're already approved lots, so we shouldn't even if that's the case.
You
Cause they're already approved lots.
put in the condition that subject to town board, 60-foot right away, that applicant must obtain approval from town board.
And
They're
will
approved
Mobile
lots.
Road be improved at all as
Right
part
away,
of?
it's supposed to be filed, signed and filed.
Right, but it's still gonna be, it was just gonna be an access easement. It wasn't gonna be a dedicated road at that time, was it?
I don't know if it is gonna be now.
will Mobile Road be improved at some point prior to that spine road being built? I mean,
Yeah,
we're putting two more lots on the road that's pretty.
Mike and I have gone back and forth about it, and that's the first thing that has to be done before they'll build it as part of this, is make those improvements.
And Eric is putting that as part of the.
Okay, and to what standard?
Whatever.
In terms of width and surface.
A
Town
dedicated
standards.
fire apparatus road standard is
Okay.
what Mike at the town said.
So prior to moving that
Prior to
your
the
home
building
and
permit.
occupying it, it's gotta be. That, those improvements that.
We do that CFO to give us time to build it.
Yeah, before it's occupied, I guess.
Cause that'll give them the ability to get in there and start doing the work and then also put the foundation like that.
I was saying like some, for other, like for Pierceburg or something, the right of way has to be dedicated, the road dedicated prior to building permits being issued. Just so.
Let's be consistent, yeah. Could you move that thing without a building?
I bet I've tried. The first thing I'm
I'm not saying you sit on a foundation, just
can't get it back there without doing any work, and Mike says.
on the road. It's just, Mobile Road's been a
No, but that's
issue
part of
for
this.
years, and it's just, and now we're putting two more houses on it. We just wanna make sure we have it,
Correct.
a plan as to how it's gonna be, handled, and maintained in the future. All right, we go in the right direction, board, or do we think more has to be done?
I don't think so. I think it's just cleaning up the old stuff. Yeah.
He's trying to.
Well, every time we do something out there, if we just get an improvement,
As long as we stay with that plan, or you know what I mean,
This is the,
kind of all work together.
well, the key is that spine road being built
Yeah.
at some point, and I guess that's between Mr. Janeco and the town board, or
Yeah, it's being,
the water lines.
you'll see the new sketch plan in another month, I think.
Oh, something's in the works.
BME is working on a sketch, an
Good.
updated sketch plan. They're gonna move forward with it. He's gonna have a battle with RG&E.
And that'll show Mobile Road the next thing.
That's all. There's not. But you can see, let's see, he will.
All right,
Although up there, they would be pulled down.
Nope.
No,
We were at a developers meeting, 3 weeks ago. There's no power from basically 96 to. Or the.
like us here, or the end of the
Yeah,
day.
there was no power the other night.
There is on the south side, you can't add with nothing.
All righty. Getting punchy here. Okay, let's, anybody from the audience? Here, there, anywhere, speak regarding this application, address the board. If not, this is a seeker type 2. So it makes it simple. And let's bundle it with the site plan. And it's a site plan for 2 lots, which I guess is a little awkward. It's not 2 separate site plans, but.
Are they-
Essentially, they're
are they
twins.
Two different tax ID numbers
Yes.
now?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can approve it, that's okay.
Like twins, baptizing. Okay, so someone want to give me a bundle motion for those, and we'll go over the conditions and once the motion's made.
I'll make that motion to bundle the seeker and the page site plan approval for CPN 25074 Mobile Road. With how many conditions?
Okay, let's hear them. I guess the additional ones anyway.
3 additional ones, just, we'll start with a modification I made to this. We're at the end of condition 7, adding the applicant shall obtain approval for the right of way dedication from the town board. New condition 9, a shared use and access agreement shall be provided for lot 7 and 8, standard and defined registries which shall be provided by the town engineer and the town attorney. New condition 10, prior to issuance of building permits, Mobile Road shall be improved and dedicated to the town. on condition 11, since we're talking about. Upgrading this road to town standards, town highway superintendent. Shall be consulted with his comments addressed by the same group of person.
So. Yes, and then does that cover the 60-foot right of way, which I know is included in the dedication, but they don't include that. Or the swoop down. No. So we also need a 60-foot right of way. For that, right? Is that covered somewhere?
I think so, so.
Up to the turnaround?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
condition 7 is. That the site plans be revised to ride that 60-foot right of ways with the town, a local road extending from 332 to the existing right of way.
Oh,
right.
Well. Yeah, well, but I think.
That's what it's referring to, was the existing right of way.
There is an
I guess
existing,
that either.
that's private.
this Or this would satisfy that condition, right?
Legal.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's fine. Make sure we're covering everything. Sorry, oh,
That's it, 11
I'm good.
conditions.
Would that also cover the easement for the joint use of that driveway?
No, that's.
To be separate, he
that's
has it
not- That's condition 9.
10.
10, okay,
Shared use agreement
yeah,
also is an
for,
typical.
for lots 7 and 8. Okay,
Yes.
I will second that.
Just.
Yep. Except they're not gonna sign it, hopefully.
just want to make sure that the park and rec fee would be for 2 of them. Not just for one, so you issuance of the building, a building permit, permits maybe. Just want to make sure it's not just one. One chick, it's 2. Get our money. Okay, anything else?
No, Mark had a second.
Okay, Mark had a second, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's fine. Did anyone ever find the codes marked up plan?
Yeah,
It's
it's
in?
version 2.
Oh, it's a version 2,
Yes.
okay. I didn't know what the concerns were, but all right, you'll be working with code anyways, Murphy.
Yeah, I went through, there was nothing, it was, he wanted me to get rid of.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you about it, the new, conditions.
Okay, very good, Andrew, thank you.
Bid you all good evening.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
And
Mr. Dan.
good evening.
All right, next week about 2025-080. Mr. Hobson. Wants to build a home out on the 2344 New Michigan Road. And you're here for a site plan approval, AR2 zoning. And I assume you're Mr. Hobson. I am. Representing yourself, good. Where do you live currently?
Currently, well, I just sold my home.
Oh, okay.
Out of Victor. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Canada.
well, we'll see.
Hopefully.
There's questions arising.
I can imagine what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Anyway, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're thinking about doing?
Looking at putting a single family home, right there with a raised bed system. Pretty easy compared to what you guys have been doing so far. A little ranch with a walkout basement.
Okay. Plan was revised back at 7/28. So, yeah, that's one thing. Eric on the resolutions. There was a 7/28 rendition. Okay, let's see. There was some discussion, apparently Jim Fletcher and the ECB regarding a windbreak. That possibly there's I guess they used to put, or there should have been a snow fence on this property. to stop the snow from blowing across New Michigan Road, and there was some discussion. I never saw in Jim's comments, but I think it came up in the ECB meeting about Jim had requested a windbreak.
So Jim had requested, when I first bought the property, I talked to him, and he asked me if he could put natural snow fence out,
If he could.
if he could put it out there.
Okay, and your response was?
Sure. I mean, put as much stuff in front of that solar field as you can.
Okay, so it wasn't a vegetative. It wasn't a vegetative windbreak, it was him coming out, rolling the fence out. and putting
No,
it-
he said a natural snow fence. I assume that's trees, bushes, that kind
Oh,
of thing.
okay. He was gonna put it up.
Yeah, and he and I are supposed to schedule a meeting to get that worked out.
Okay. We have as a condition that you work with Jim. It's there. Okay, so that takes care of that. I think you confirmed with ECB that no trees would be taken down, this work would all be done.
There's not a tree on the lot.
And any landscape would be native, and your lighting would be dark sky compliant. And the ag committee had no comments, is that because they didn't meet, I guess, or
They didn't have a quorum.
They didn't have a quorum. Okay. Is this the one you sent me the email on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No big issues other than it wasn't being farmed and
They had no issues.
never will be farmed, and, okay.
Commented that it hadn't.
There you go. Okay, so code. 8.6 code had, I wrote down extensive. Do you want to pull up Kyle or Mike's comments review? Kim, thank you.
While they're doing that, what's the size of your driveway, the width?
12 feet, I believe.
12, it should be on the plans.
I think it is, in the most recent plan.
Okay, most, I'm not looking at them. And is it paved at the end, 30 feet?
Yes.
Here. Not seeing the most recent plan then.
So you go with code. Again, it can be covered with a condition, but are you familiar with? It has to be brought to the site, construction sequence never calls that installation.
So the raised bed system, DOH is looking at that right now. They did say that we needed a pump for that. Nice thing about that is we can now move the septic closer to the house because we don't need the grade drop. And we'll have less disturbance down to the area because of that. I believe everything else is covered in the in the notice site plan.
The approval would be conditional upon these being met, and if there's achievable by you, then it shouldn't be an issue for you.
Yeah, all this, I think.
So you'll be moving further from the pond? No, the house is 100.
The house is like 101 feet.
Yep.
And the driveway is an old existing driveway.
Okay. Yep, 101. And the driveway is, what's that box inside the radius? Is that a box or just? What's that represent?
I'm not sure what that is. You have the more recent plan?
That's the one,
That's the one I thought was the 28th.
I opened this one.
There should be a more recent one than that.
Anyway, could you describe it? What you're looking for?
I was just seeing if what that box was.
Those are the site plans I got. This is the one I got.
Yeah, there's a newer version that's got all those things fixed in it.
It might be a.
Actually, Kristen might have it.
28th.
I mean, it's.
Came in in August. I don't know what's dated. Well, they didn't mark the revision. 7/28. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, there's a newer. plan.
Anyway, I mean, I was just curious.
Kristen, did you?
But you're
have-
right, the driveway,
Did you have the newer site plan?
The newest site plan?
I might have emailed that one to you.
I have 813.
Yeah, there.
yeah, but I think it's
There was
dated,
one from.
it's dated
a week ago.
7/20.
That had the
813.
silt fence and.
That would have been after PRC.
Well, this one has, I think this one has everything. If you look at the legend.
Yeah, the 813 site plan was the last one you
That's the last
emailed me,
one.
and that's what's was
I thought-
uploaded on 15. So that, I think, was the site plan where you addressed Kyle Fenner's comments.
And I think you certified that the things requested at PRC were provided, right?
Yes, oh, definitely.
So that must have been on the 8/13.
Oh, that's a staging area.
Is it?
It's written on another page. Staging area.
Oh,
Is there, it's maybe blown up on a different page? somewhere?
Yeah. it's
yeah,
on, like,
old,
Page
older.
5. Page 5, staging area.
But that was an older plan, right?
This is the 813 land. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, the one it's dated July 28th, right, but it was.
Of
one
the
that was
plan,
uploaded in-
but the
Yeah.
upload
Yeah.
text is
Yeah.
813.
That's different than that. Oh dear. Date box.
Oh, 728.
Okay, just didn't show the revision date. Up top. Oop.
Oop.
It went too far. Pen right, nope, wasn't revoked, it didn't show a revision
No.
date, but it was changed, okay. Anyway, 7/28 is the plan that we're looking at and we're considering tonight, so. And that's a staging area, my question was asked and answered.
That's all I know.
You certified that the PRC information was, there was quite a bit of it and it was
It was yeah,
provided in some
quite
plans.
amazing, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Got nothing from the county planning board. I don't know if I think we sent it to them, but I guess no news is good news or no news is no news.
Yeah, I think this would be exact.
There was definitely ones that didn't need essential one.
Might have
Yeah, we
been,
didn't
yeah.
work it.
The other thing with the ECB was any stormwater control, you're gonna just have splash blocks, I assume, coming off the roof drains.
Be my guess, yeah.
I think-
Everything runs way downhill
Yeah.
to the north. so.
And it's it's a big lot, okay. All right, I think we've beaten this up enough. Let's move, any questions, anybody from the audience? Hearing none, let's move on. With our action, again, it's a type 2 seeker. Should
It's
be
like you have a couple of headings that need to be changed. Here, under findings and seeing.
Oh, yeah. Right.
also forward.
That. It continues all the old road stuff. Your last 3 pages were just a
Oh,
carry over of some kind.
right, I'll, revise it then.
This in the findings, guys? Yeah, okay. ECB, Fletcher had no comments. Okay. Let's bundle. Bundle again, like we always do, for type 2. So somebody want to give me a combined resolution for the seeker and the site plan?
So moved. CPN 25080 at 2344 Lisbon Road.
I will second.
Okay,
How many?
what, what do we add?
Additional.
6,
So there are 9,
9 conditions.
okay. Signature block for the town engineer, or remove it, excuse me, okay. Code enforcement we got. Got the P and R fee, okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good to see you, Mr. Hobson, thanks for coming out. Oh, okay, do whatever you want to do.
Thank you. I can't
Jumping
sit this
jacks?
long. I don't know if I can pull that off. I'll be right here.
Okay. Let's move on to the next application, which is CPN 25083 5088 State Route 21. Mr. Warchick?
Warzak. Yes,
Warzak,
sir.
okay. Is hoping to build a home out there on State Route 21. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us what you want to do.
Yep, just looking to build 3-bed, 2-bath, single story ranch style home. Similar to him, walkout basement, about 2,000 square foot, your basic house. It's a pretty wide open property. It has quite a bit of fall and elevation towards the back, standard septic system, leach line system, and a well.
Yep. Okay. This is the one that has no trees being taken down. I was reading the wrong application last time.
Yeah, there's no trees in that field.
Nope. Okay, you've got to go to Department of Transportation, get a permit for your encroachment of your driveway, so you know that, that'll be a condition of your approval.
So it's right at the, you're right at the.
Right at the knoll, yes, sir, yeah.
I think the only place you put it on the frontage.
Yeah, that's what we figured, as far up as we can, get a visual coming out of the driveway. So we're
Or
hugging
even
that.
just taking a left, well, my concern was taking a left into the driveway, being able to see over. that.
Right, yeah, no, that's our plan, push it up as high as we can and still meet all setbacks, but.
Pretty,
You have the site distance somewhere, I remember seeing it.
I didn't see it on the plan.
it's under state jurisdiction, I mean.
Well, you're gonna need a permit from NIDOT, so. That'll be, again, as I said, a condition. Was there a discussion at PRC about, or was it Murph about showing the future garage as a future garage, or he didn't care whether it was on there or not?
Right, he can leave it on there as future growth.
Okay.
Yep.
I know sometimes if it's something planned in the future,
Yeah, I
don't
spoke
show
with
it
him.
now, but show it later.
He said he recommended leaving it on there just because it'll make everything easier in the future when I do have a garage and put in there, but.
I assume the driveway's gonna be gravel except for your, well, it depends what NIDOT requires
Right.
as far as your apron.
Yep, I'm just waiting to hear from them what it needs to take place. Obviously, I'd like to asphalt the whole thing, but that ain't cheap.
It's especially for that length, yeah. How you making out with Tyler only on the septic system?
I spoke with Tyler Olson. We already, that was kind of contingency on buying the property. I had him out with my engineer and they both spoke. Obviously it's in the watershed area, so he approved it. Basically wrote me a note saying, yep, you're good to go with a standard system moving forward. And I have an engineer signature on that document sent over from Greenland Surveying that a standard system in place would be fine. Because that was one of the things, I was just not gonna buy the property if I couldn't put a standard system in, so.
Okay, that'll be another condition as far as getting a signed and sealed approval from Tyler, but Sounds like you're
Already done.
well on your way. No, that's all I got.
Nothing, I mean,
The
I know a good carpenter right there.
phosphorus note, you didn't review it, so,
This guy.
No, he's right here. I don't think friend of mine was
Okay.
building them.
Maybe it's a little plug for yourself.
No.
oh, okay.
There's
Yes.
no phosphorus.
No,
Okay.
friend of mine.
Sure of that. Board, you got anything else?
I have nothing on
Nope.
this.
Residents. I know why you're here. So we have no one, here, question the application? If not, we're ready to chug along. Let's, we've been good at it all night. Let's bundle type 2 action seeker along with the site plan.
I'll put this bundle plan at 5088 State Route 21, CPN 25-083 on a seeker resolution type 2 action and a site plan approval with this still, or is it 9 now?
Unless there's additional.
Was it 8, just 8, yep, with the 8. Okay, I'm good.
Got it with 8. Can I have a second? Thank you. For discussion, not all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All righty. We're down to CPN 2025-096, property 4410, routes 5 and 20, a site plan seeking reapproval for a 15,800 square foot medical office building with parking, utilities, biotension basins, and this is, we're here because of a previous approval expiring. And it's essentially a rehash of what you submitted before, right? Wanna come up to the podium and
I know.
reintroduce yourself?
I've been from Costage out of town tonight, so I just came to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Here. Johnny, it's Tomaso.
Yeah, I remember John is representing you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Evan is. Evan from Costage did the presentation for the
Yep,
last
I remember that, yep.
year and a half.
I don't think we need a presentation. I think the only concern is what has held you up in the past been resolved?
Well, nothing's really held us up. We were moving right along.
Well, I mean.
We were expecting to get signatures on the plan, and then we were down to the last storm sewer agreement, storm sewer easement. And then I got a call from the town saying that we're over the time and we have to reapprove. So we were doing our thing between attorneys and engineers, and I thought we were all set, but we're back here tonight for the same thing. So, that's why I'm here.
Kim, is it something at our end? It's holding it up? Kristen rather? Kim.
I think we were just waiting for all the commission's approval from that, but it stated it was.
Was I guess the resolution as proposed is essentially the same resolution as the last time. So we just want to make sure that you can address
Yeah. I don't
in
think
a
there's
reasonable amount of time, the conditions.
I don't think there's anything really holding them up in that sense, like that. It's just a matter of getting the approvals, and so we'll get on that, make sure that the easements are reviewed, myself and Chris and whatnot.
But you're
Approvals.
all ready to go otherwise, I mean.
We're in the process of that, yeah,
Okay.
because, there's a
Getting
lot,
contractors.
lot to do on our end, contractors doing,
Prices are going up.
financing, all that stuff, but I don't know. We were set back a little bit by coming back here again.
Okay. Board have any issues with this? I assume in the interim between the original proposal and this one, none of our standards have changed. That we'd have to hold the applicant to. I couldn't think of any.
They had to go through wetland permitting as part of the original one anyways, so.
Yep. And the wetland, so wetland requirements essentially the same. I mean, it's not similar to what we had with the airport.
What's that?
With the airport, we had
Right, it was.
in the change in the FEMA. Okay, wetlands issue, okay. I guess we're good. Okay, We have to redo the seeker. Okay, we can do that. We've got a part one from the applicant, part 2 and 3 submitted by MRB representing the town. Can I have a motion on the seeker, please?
So moved. Approval.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
That there is a determination of non-significance for this application. Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, site plan. Someone wanna handle that?
Yep, I'll make that approval or. Motion to approve single stage site plan approval on 4410 Route 5 and 20 for CPN 25-096 with. 6. Right? 11. Oh, 11.
And they're all from the original. Mhm. Nothing was added as part of this application. Okay. Got a motion,
I'll second.
second. Further discussion, not all in favor?
Aye.
You got it. All right.
Thanks.
Sure. Thanks for waiting.
No problem. Yeah.
All right, we are. I think on the agenda, except for approval of the minutes. I was not here, so Bobby, if you want to ask for a motion, a second.
Yes, can I have a motion and a second on approval of our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. We have a security release.
Yeah, big,
Big fella.
yeah.
Expensive.
It's remaining still.
Okay, Pierce Brook's asking for a couple cents back.
This is the-
323,160.31. Someone want to make a motion to approve or disapprove?
I'll make that motion for the surety release for Pierce Brook subdivision, $323,160.31.
I will second.
Okay. For discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Money's back. All right. Sarah discovered that our November, I didn't sign.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. That our November 11th meeting is Veterans Day,
Oh,
and it's slipped by on the calendar.
Yeah, can't be that day.
So we can't meet on that Tuesday, so the suggestion was to move it to Wednesday. How's that look on everybody's calendar? So it'd be the 12th.
thank you. That's fine.
Okay,
It's fine with me, I won't be here.
Won't be here, don't care.
how about it?
Yeah.
Well, as long as we have a quorum, okay? So we will change that meeting from the 11th to the 12th. Do that right now.
Just for now, we already have a meeting on that particular date, so the applicant will need to know.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And you ladies, you're okay, Kim and Marie, okay.
What application is that, Westbrook?
What?
Is that the Westbrook application?
Okay,
Let's continue to that date.
Yeah.
I can now say it that our agenda looks light for the next meeting.
No,
I didn't want to say it before.
don't ever say those things.
I did say it to Bob, and I said,
Yeah, he was.
shut my mouth.
Never say those things.
I thought he added all the stuff to.
You said we have 3?
Uh,
I had 1 from this.
2 can be removed.
okay.
Yeah, there was, one was continued at the ZBA and one was denied at the ZBA. Or no, there's only one.
Yeah, so they went away.
What happened to the
The
ZBA?
side one, right?
The sign was denied. And then the solar was continued.
And
One lonely application,
German Brothers, that was a real, they don't have anything into us yet.
that was continued.
And that was continued, so Chip could respond, okay. Yep. So we have one item on the agenda, so I was thinking, Bob had asked at one time, and it would be a good idea to have Travis Money come in and talk about the new wetland regs. As long as it didn't step on MRBs. Yeah, okay, so maybe you wanna check with him, he's available on the 9th.
On the 9th.
Oh, you won't, no, 23rd.
23rd.
Okay. And if we wanna hash out some of our project information, decide where we're going with that, and and Mark, I know you brought up to the board when I was in my absence, the idea of a seminar next spring.
Yeah.
And that's certainly a good idea, and I think from the minutes, it was endorsed by the board. So that would be a good idea, and I guess you're looking for people to speak that. And I thought of Dave Plant. Remember Dave Plant?
I know
Mr.
that
Solar.
Dave. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he lives in the town now. I'll give you.
He moved jobs. I
He
think.
moved, he changed ways, yeah. He's
Yeah.
back in Canada, or in Farmington, I guess.
These are Fisher Associates.
He was the,
Yeah, it's like a leader of their energy practice or something. like
and
that.
he was the president of the Planning Federation. Yeah.
And he was up a couple of years. And
He's- I don't know what he'd speak on, I mean. He did have a lot of expertise in solar, but he's a lot of expertise in all of things. So maybe he would be a suggestion. Sure, he would. Possible, but we can come up with more names as we go. But again, getting back to the 9th, maybe chew on some ideas as far as projects. Yeah.
So, yeah, yes.
That's enthusiastic, yes.
That's fine. No, I'm just,
very good.
so we started some of the discussions related to them. The team just needs to dig into the things that they actually want to do something with now, so that we can start giving you some updates. So I'll continue to dialogue with them before our next meeting, so that we can try to get some forward momentum on those projects.
Okay.
And we can give you a better summary at that point.
Okay.
If there's something that you'd like to do for special projects, then let me know that too. So I figured you got enough going on.
Yeah. Give me the options of what's available, what you need help with, and I'll certainly help you out.
Okay.
Yes. Did you have a list of potential topics that,
So we pivoted a little bit. The short answer is yes. So,
okay, if you publish it or put that out,
okay.
Then that's a starting point, I guess.
So individually, just kind of quickly talk through them. In Bob's case, the last time we discussed is whether or not there's more to do on solar. And then if he has other concepts that he's looking at.
Sure.
I have another.
Yeah, so you'll get a note from me already, Bob, if you haven't seen it already.
Oh, I saw it already.
So Amanda's wanting to drive the affordable housing topic.
Important issue, yep.
There's also some activity coming out of the county. Ryan Davis has got a lot of passion around that, and there's a report that they've done looking at that as well, which what I'm trying to do is help Amanda get to a level of defining what it means so that we can then see how it impacts the plan. So the comp plan and how we institute that in the planning. With what I also started looking at doing for my part is looking at it and saying, okay, what are the prime directives of the comp plan? And aligning to that, one of those initiatives that we're not doing anything with that I tie in the comp plan is lake access. So I've taken the initiative to start that interaction with the board and with even with the city, since they're pretty active on it. And what I'm hoping Tim will agree to support us on, because I know he's passionate around things like stormwater. So really, for me, looking to him is to drive some of the questions around stormwater and the planning things around that, but also helping us get a little bit more structure when we look at plans to say, we really put boundaries around it. Not boundaries to limit it, but boundaries to say, this is the things that we should be looking at related to the comp plan, related to the code, to streamline it, so we look normal soon. So that's the goals of the projects that we've started working on. I've got some convincing to get people to get more engaged and to get active with those, but those are the initial thoughts.
Do you have any other topics that people have not signed yet on as far as?
For sure, yeah, I can actually go back to dust off.
Yeah.
Again, I think we don't really do anything active. I want to be careful because that sounds negative. We don't have a lot of activities leading to active planning. And if you look at the comp plan, there's room for that. So I can pick through those and share some of those with you of the areas. I have to keep reminding myself what's in the comp plan. To make sure that it aligns. And that's.
Yeah, I know we get frustrated as a board that a lot of times what we approve and what's implemented are, and I don't know if that's something without stepping on toes, that you can fix.
But the big
Well,
part
it
of
can be
that-
fixed, but it's just a matter of how you do it.
Well, and they have to, the people that have to do it have to have the resources. So I talked with Murph a lot about that topic. I mean, we've got to be realistic in what they can enforce. In other words, we've got to figure out an enforcement mechanism of some kind. If we care passionately about that, we see it individually, right? I track a few things, Bob tracks a few things. You would,
Yeah.
we all pick our battles, I guess, is what you said. And then with the changes that I think we're gonna have an interesting. I don't know what's next with Sarah leaving and looking at what comes next. If we have a town planner or not, it's kind of on that function. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I was happy to give Sarah related to some of the stuff that we were going to do, and now I don't know how that role goes out.
Yeah.
Over time.
Well, it's like the open space. I hope that doesn't get dropped because Sarah's been the implementer of the open space
And
initiative.
Kim and I dialogued about a number of things that I was actually content because we had the resources to start moving on some of those things. So the trees, the plants, all of the green stuff that we're working on, ECB was helping to drive it.
Yeah.
And now that, so I felt that I didn't have to necessarily get that into plan, but now we're losing a resource that would have helped us get it into plan. So we gotta take a look at those.
Well, I know we've been working around the edges of the Bible of landscaping, and we keep referring to the Victor model, and that's a good place to start. I mean, we keep referring to it. Maybe it's time to adopt it.
I will say the ECB has been very busy.
Oh, I know. Yeah, well, we all have. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
And
2-hour
then-
meetings.
I mean, I know that something the county is actively trying, and the town are actively trying to work on is, there's jest was made towards it tonight about electric coming in Canandaigua. But that's gonna prevent
That's a huge issue.
growth related to any housing that we might be right in the north end.
Yeah.
So until we
So
see
we can-
some indication of those tens of millions of dollars changing or not, it may cause a revamping of the government of some kind. They don't figure out how to get that infrastructure.
Or a revamping of the comp plan to make it a stronger case that it's needed, in addition to all the other things that we're using to point at to say, hey, we need this, hey, we need this.
Well, I think when the comp plan was created, people naturally looked at certain areas and said it makes sense to do something there. This may blow that up, right? If there's if nothing's happening there for the next 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Looking at the guy that wrote it.
Frankly, I
You know,
don't really
if
think
we
it
did-
changes that. Some of it like is aspirational, like
But-
maybe it changes some action strategies to the extent to like invest in that area, but I think it's naturally a place where you would look to grow on the city's perimeter. You do still have water and sewer there where you don't have it elsewhere. You're right, it's a huge wrench in it, but I don't necessarily mean you don't like plan for growth there, encourage growth there, you know, something like that.
Well, but that's not our gig. Our gig is putting time into projects to see whether or not they fit within the plan and the code. And we spend a lot of time on that stuff and then have it not doing it. I love hanging out with this group, but Bob meetings are much more efficient. Picking on you, Chuck.
That was a quick.
He gets us out of here. He's done it.
I'm trying.
He's got paper clip in his mouth, he's like muzzling himself right now.
Worried
But
about
what you
Kristen's
do-
back. I mean, she started, she wants,
Fighting.
she wanted to get a hot.
But I need to call
She
this
wants a heat
meeting
pad.
before fifth.
So I have a question.
So anyway, the ninth, we'll talk, projects and we'll, maybe Travis. If
I
not,
asked this question earlier.
Okay.
With regard to the Paris Hills project. At what point does project that comes in that was approved 25 years ago have to step up to the current standards, you know, with what they may have already constructed, especially with the climate change that we've seen and stormwater issues that we've experienced in this town?
And non-maintenance of that place.
Well, did you like my, you know, off the seat of my pants, condition of it, what, that they need to certify that it meets the current, that it meets the original design standards, because when those stormwater ponds get filled with vegetation, it changes the volume.
Right, and if you also asked him directly, you know, what it was designed for, right, at that time. If I could,
Well, he said the overflow was designed for the 100-year storm.
so
emergency spillway, yeah.
I don't have the answer for you off the top of my head. I'll get an answer for you from Colin, who does our storm.
Okay, but the sort of, it runs along the same line as Bob's concerned about the house that was being modified to actually reduce the lot coverage, but we were asking for stormwater mitigation in some way, shape, or form. Now, mitigation needs to be defined. Is that,
I think that's one of my new projects I'm gonna try to work on,
well, I
in the
don't-
RLD especially.
But we need to
Yeah.
coordinate on what
Yeah,
everyone's idea of mitigation. Is it for pollutants or is it for storm water retention and management or certain types of storms? Because the same term is used laterally, and somebody might be talking chemical mitigation, others might be thinking, okay, well, we're protecting ourselves from a 25 or a 50-year or 100-year storm.
my main concern is not a direct flow to the lake.
Agreed.
That's what, and a lot of that RLD is like that. That's my main.
And if you remember, Bob, remember Ryan had a thing about asphalt shingles on a roof?
Yes, you did.
You had the grit that comes into the gutters, that goes down the downspouts
Fills up
and
the
goes
system.
into the lake.
Oh, yeah.
So it,
I believe the statistic is like 89% of pollution comes with the rain. So, yeah, washing on your asphalt shingles.
Cause it was getting to the point that he was asking, are you putting a metal roof on or an asphalt?
Yeah.
And if you had an asphalt roof, we doubly made sure that we had some sort of dry well or
It's something to think
filtration
about
system.
there. This is it might not be a change in code, but it's a change in philosophy. So, and that came up in the last meeting related to surfaces. I've been under the understanding my entire time here.
Right.
Is that if water doesn't go through it, well, you can't even modify it. You can't even put impervious surfaces down. Now, we've been told that that's allowed. You can mitigate, it's not considered covered because water goes through it. They have to have a maintenance plan. But that was new. That was new last
Right.
night.
On those blocks. It
Yeah.
was new.
So pavers and asphalt,
Yeah.
all of the stuff that,
Now, if you have that asphalt that will mitigate water and then you put sealant over it,
then it's done.
so that's my complaint that I have on somebody.
And I've also heard people argue that compacted gravel driveways are impervious. So, yeah, it's all over the board.
Yes. I think our job really is to, one, of course, but save our lake. And whatever we can do to do that is more important.
Something what few people have.
And I think you have broad discretion with that, or in what your findings have to be for site plan approval. It's just broadly related to stormwater is acceptable, public health, safety, welfare, all that stuff. You, in the code, I say it has to be a bit more strictly defined, but you all have it, now it's.
Well, we do and we don't. I mean, we have been challenged by some. Most people understand that we're trying to compromise with them. And that's the problem that I've had with the variances that come in. Is that it leaves us without options in many cases. So then we try to compromise. And then once or twice, somebody decides to posture. Which I find entertaining. But it puts us in a situation that we can't do anything about. And these surfaces, so if we prove that these surfaces help, I'm all about it, right? Because as long as the variances continue to happen. And then the lack of placing afterwards, because I don't even think of protecting the lake from an environmental perspective. It's directly related. I think of it as an economic issue. If we screw up that lake, we're all gonna be feeling differently about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, on their point too, is like, I had concern tonight when we had one of our conditions say it was based on code compliance agreeing with it. About the drainage on the lake.
Yeah.
Hopefully. His understanding is the same as ours and not just allow, oh, flash blocks, that's okay. I am bothered by that.
Yeah, I don't really care if somebody floods their house. I care if it goes in the lake.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I mean, we wanted some kind of mitigation and he would say, oh, hey, you got flash block, that's okay. That's, that worries me.
I mean, the number of places
Worries all of us.
I walk, I do my 1.1 mile
Well,
walk.
then it's
And
one of the
those are things that I
solutions,
find-
sorry to interrupt, that's okay, Mark, but it's one of the solutions then to either make it a more defined condition or have them come back and revise.
So
revise the plans.
you're right. The best thing that we could do for ourselves is to make sure the condition is good. And we have made it come back so that Chuck has to sign it.
Okay.
You know, we have done that level. So yes, but as long as that, we're very important. The notes don't matter. Those conditions,
You can also propose new ordinance.
yes.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, and that's my thought too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary came to one of the ordinance committee meetings and was talking about renewal pavers and all sorts of stuff. And he talked about Orem had a law that you had to put in stormwater mitigation with any new construction. And they kind of left it more nebulous, so the engineer could come up with a plan and talk with the planning board or whatever. So, well, that's an idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
the
totally
planning
agree.
board
with that.
could propose.
Any new
law.
construction or like addition or revision or
Renovation.
something like, not just, you know, undeveloped lot, but lot that's already developed, like the application with the pavilion additions.
Yes, I mean, it's totally within our realm.
Yeah.
And I think the people who have invested on the lake understand. It's explained to them. We're trying to protect the lake.
90%
I love your altruism for.
92% of the time.
They have the money to do it.
92%.
We only come forward with landscape law.
Yeah.
All right, what time you got?
8:19, motion to adjourn.
Official, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and I second it.
All right, good discussion.